The State Secondary Education Board Chairman, Sonia Omozane Ebanehita, has held a meeting with principals of various secondary schools in Benin. The meeting, which was held at Idia College, was to formally intimate the principals on some reforms that will be implemented in secondary schools through the education transformation drive of the Governor Monday Okpebholo administration in the state. The report is presented by Freeman Osawe.
The meeting, which had secondary school principals from various local governments in Edo South, centered on discussions of welfare for secondary schools in the state and promotion as at when due and employment. In a remark, the State Secondary Education Board Chairman, Omozane Ebanehita Sonia, acknowledged Governor Monday Okpebholo's commitment to education is one of the reasons the meeting was called and that it is no longer business as usual. She added that principals of schools should know their functions so as to put into shape their respective schools, while emphasizing that promotion of principals will now be based on seniority and not otherwise, including implementation of promotions without delay.
I brought us back to remind us of what we all know a school principal to be. Also, I know that to be a school principal, you all obviously has put in a good number of years in school service. So I have not invited you here to lecture you on what you already know, but to admonize you to do what you already know. More effective implementations of educational policy and more proficient maintenance of a safe and productive environment. Henceforth, coming to school late and absenteeism will not be tolerated. I want to use this opportunity to promise that appointment of executive principal will be based on seniority.
On their part, some principals used the opportunity to list some of the critical challenges they are facing in their respective schools, such as decaying infrastructure, inadequate teaching staffs, no implementation of promotions, amongst others.
Ma, you spoke about everything, but you didn't talk about employment. That is the problem in SSEB, the most problem we have. Then we have Edo staff whose issue is on ground. They are like tambor in the school. They keep complaining. If you give them work, they will tell you they will do 77,000 work and leave the rest.
I had people mention some issues in the school, and an aspect that makes me bleed in my hands, the science world. For every principal here, I can hardly see any principal who will confidently raise his or her hand and tell us they have enough physics, chemistry, and biology teachers in various schools. In my school, I don't have physics teacher. I have only one chemistry teacher.
The point that the appeal I'm making in form of companies to beg the board members, to help us beg His Excellency that this employment that we are hoping to give, let's consider our Edo staff fellows. They've been with us. They are already intervening in our schools. To take them away from the schools are empty. Media college is to be happy that they have to put permanent teachers. Some of our schools, if you remove the Edo staff fellows, you have just 2 teachers left.
Responding to their demands, the board chairman assured their challenges will be channeled to the appropriate quarter and will be addressed accordingly.
That of promotion, sir, I believe I've addressed that already. Then for the employment, we will work on that. So, I believe it's not just only your school or those states, we need teachers. So for the those staff, we will work on them because they have been there for us.
The board chairman also took a survey on the state of facilities such as ICT center, laboratory, classrooms, and the principal's office at Idia College to familiarize with the academic staffs.
So we now have some reagents and some of the reagents.
There's no vocabulary.
In an interview with BTV News, the board chairman, Mrs. Omozen Ebaenita Sonia, and other board members said the meeting was to begin the process of discussing ways secondary education can be better and effective.
It's for us to have introduction, to introduce ourselves to all the principals, to also meet with them as well, and to also tell them what we want in the education system in Edo State. And we are so happy that they were able to identify their major challenge they have, and by special grace of God, we are able to also give them a positive response.
We came here to relate what the governor have told us, that the education before is not very palatable, but his tenure, he will want the teachers to buckle up to make sure they work with the modern technologies.
It's a way to relate the happenings and get familiar with what has been on ground and what they are here to expect.
On the other hand, the principal of Idia College, Mrs. Joan Eimema, thanked the board chairman for the visit and believed that she would take prompt actions in addressing challenges in the school and secondary education generally in the state.
It gives us an avenue to pour out all that we have been battling with. And the chairman, in her wisdom, has also promised us that by God's grace, she will do the needful. Mrs.
Omozen Ebaenita Sonia is the chairman of the Edo State Secondary Education Board. Freeman Osawe reporting for BTV News.